Good morning, guys. Today I am on my way back to the install, and it made me think about the necessity of pulling a permit on your job. I know that there's a lot of guys out there that won't even pull a permit on a job. They'll just change the system out. I don't know how it is in the rest of the country, but here in California, if you even move an air conditioning system more than 10 feet, you have to pull a permit. So when I started this job a few days ago, well, actually when I sold it, you know, the lady, I had actually been outbid by a few $1,000s, and it was from the daughter of the person who owns the house. It was her boyfriend that was going to put the system in, and it made me think, I wonder if he would have pulled a permit. So why do you even need to pull a permit? Well, here's the thing. Having a code inspector come by and check your job after it's done is not a bad thing. You know, like, wouldn't it be a good idea, because I'm running a whole new gas line from the meter to the brand new unit I'm cutting in on the roof, wouldn't that be a good idea if I had it checked by a third party to make sure that the pressure test that I have to do on that passes? Make me sleep better at night. Wouldn't it be nice to have a third party come out and check the electrical circuit that I'm running from the panel to the new unit? Make sure it's sized right, make sure it's strapped up according to code. I mean, just having a code inspector come out and verify that the placement of the system on the roof is okay. You know, like this particular job, I'm cutting in a whole new package unit onto a house. So I just think that would be a good idea for the homeowner and for the contractor. Everybody covers their bases and has that third party come out and inspect it. I'm putting in brand new ductwork. Part of that code enforcement is that I have those ducts checked and make sure that they're not leaking more than 6%. So I have to hire a third party to come out and check that. So why don't people pull permits? Because it's a hassle. You know? And why don't people pull permits? I don't know. In my opinion, maybe they're just trying to skirt corners. Maybe they're just trying to save some money. Maybe they're trying to save some embarrassment. I'm no better because I pull a permit on a certain job and someone else may not. So I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm just here to make a video and talk about pulling permits. Because I tell you what, guys, I am not perfect. And do I pull a permit on every single job that I'm probably supposed to pull a permit on? No, I don't. Am I going to in the future? Probably not. I want to. I have the intentions of doing every job right. But I'm only human and I'm not perfect. So I just want to make sure I cover my bases there. So we pull a permit. So I'm going to go down to the Public Works building and I'm going to pull a permit. Maybe City Hall, maybe, you know, whatever town you're in. I'm going to go down there, I'm going to pull a permit, and they're going to want to know a few things. They're going to want to know my contractor's license number. They're going to want to know the address where we're going. They're going to want to know what type of unit, what type of replacement we're going to do. Is it going to be just a retrofit replacement on an existing system, or are you cutting in a new system? Are you doing a mini split? They want to know the make, the model number, the BTUs of the system, and they want to know the price of the job. So you go in and fill out your application, and you know, in some cases I've been able to go in and get that job, that building permit right away, and in some cases, you know, they have homework for me to do. So also with that building permit, you're most likely going to have to get a business license. So I'm doing my first job this year in West Sacramento, right? So I'm going to go down my business license at the very same place that I get my building permit. So why don't I go around to all the cities and just get my building and get my business license right up front? Because it's a waste of money. You know, I may not do a job in every city this year, so I just choose to go and pay for my business licenses as I need them. It'd just be a waste of money, right? So I go down to West Sacramento and I applied for my permit, and they actually kind of surprised me with a few things. You know, some places you go, you got a big old packet to fill out. And some places you go, some cities you go to, they just got just a single sheet of paper for you to fill out, and maybe a page or two for the business license. You know, the business license, they want to know, you know, your contractor number. They want to know, basically they want to get down to the nitty gritty. They want to know your insurance carriers. They want to know your workers' comp carrier, and all that good stuff. So when I went into West Sacramento and I applied for my for the permit for the job, he says, "Oh, we're gonna need a little bit more from you." Like, okay, you should expect that. Okay, so if you go in there, don't be peeved because they're wanting more information than what you came with. You may have to go home and do a little bit of homework and then come back. And in this case, I did. So I had to get a CF1R, which is from my HERS rater. This basically just is someone saying, yes, I'm going to come out and I'm going to test the ductwork. I'm going to make sure the airflow is good and Title 24 standards will be met on this job. The other thing they wanted was a couple drawings. They wanted a drawing. He said, I'm gonna need a gas line isometric drawn up for this. I'm like, oh my God, okay. So he gives me an example to use, and it was, I'm glad he had it because it was basically a drawing that said, you know, you got your meter here, and I'm connecting to this, I'm making this connection, the pipe is this wide, it's going this many feet to a unit that is this many BTUs. Well, in the case of this job, I'm just doing a home run gas line all the way from the meter to the unit. So my gas line isometric actually came out pretty easy, okay? So I just had basically one line going straight to from the meter to where the unit's gonna be. And then I drew down here, I drew like a top view. I didn't have to do that, but I just drew like a top view of where I planned on running, you know, how it was gonna look when it was done. The other drawing that they wanted was a drawing of how the unit was going to be supported. So we're going to be mounting a curb onto the roof, and then we're going to place the unit on top of the curb. So I guess the curb has to be put on right and verified. So he said he wanted to know how it was going to sit. So I did a little bit of homework, and I drew up a side view of how the unit was going to come out looking, and the purlin, you know, basically where the purlin was, and how it would be supported. And then from down below, I did like a top angle, which shows like, you know, roof joists, where the trusses are, where the purlin is. And yeah, I just tried to do basically my best, you know. So I showed like a cross section of the purlin and everything, how it was supported. So I took that in, and he passed it all. Then they started filling out this document here. So this is my permit. Got my drawings. Got my CF1R. I put all of this together, and I just make sure it's at the job site together, all together. So if an inspector drives by the house that I'm working on, then he will see that at least the permit's been pulled. So there's a couple inspections that this guy's going to want to do before the final inspection. So just like if you were doing concrete, you may need to lay the gravel and rebar before you can actually, and have it inspected before you can actually pour the concrete, right? Same thing in this situation. He wants to test the gas line and make sure it's airtight before the unit runs. And he wants to do a curb inspection as well. So he wants me to place the curb, call him, have him come out, check the gas line and the curb at the same time. He'll come check this off, okay, because I'm going to leave this in a place for him. If I don't happen to be at the job site, I'll leave it at the gas meter. And he can come, he'll check off gas test, he'll check off curb inspection, and then I can finish out the rest of the job. Then I'll put the unit on the curb, and we'll actually hook up the rest of the gas. So I called the building inspector, and I said, hey, you know, it's been a while since I've done an install in Yolo County. I just wanted to see if there's anything extra that needs to be done besides the standard placing of the unit, running the gas line, and all that stuff. So I said I'll have the gas test done. But as far as electrically, I'm running a circuit from the panel to the service disconnect at the new unit, and from the service disconnect to the actual unit. Are there any more electrical requirements besides that? And he said, yes, as a matter of fact, there is. In Yolo County, you need to add a 20 amp GFCI within 25 feet of the package unit. So typically what we'll do there then is just we'll tap into an existing 20 amp circuit and just add another outlet, basically just adding another outlet to an existing circuit. So I'll J-box it up in the attic, I'll run that electrical as well as the gas, as well as my unit circuit, all to the unit, have it come up from underneath, stub it out, make it look real clean, and we'll be well on our way to having a good install. So this all comes back to, what if I hadn't pulled a permit? Well, I probably wouldn't have put the GFCI in. I probably wouldn't have had the gas test done, right? Somebody that didn't pull a permit, he's like, yeah, it's good. Well, what if that house burns down someday, you know, because, you know, 2 months later after my install, there's a slight gas leak, and a spark somewhere creates some sort of fire in the house. You think that homeowner's insurance is gonna want to cover that fire? Somebody's gonna come back and determine that it was an electrical fire from the circuit you just ran to the unit on the new HVAC system that's up there on the house. Well, we don't recall seeing in our documents any paperwork regarding pulling a permit. Mrs. Jones, did you have a permit pulled on the job? Well, I had my contractor, you know, he said everything was good on it. Okay, well, just letting you know that your homeowner's insurance is not going to be valid because the permit wasn't pulled on the install of this system. So there's, you know, it can go really wrong. Things can go really wrong by taking shortcuts. So that's not the contractor I want to be. Like I said, you know, I'm not perfect, and I don't think any contractor is. You know, the best contractors in town still don't pull a permit on every single job that they're supposed to, and people know that. But as long as as long as you're out there trying to do the best job you can, as safely as possible, and pulling the permits when you know you're supposed to, then you know, I think that's good enough. So okay, well, that's the video for today. I just wanted to talk about that, and we will see you guys on the next video. All right, take care.